Have you ever wondered how someone who made millions, even hundreds of millions of dollars, could end up with nothing? It sounds almost impossible, right? Yet, it's a surprisingly common story, especially for some of the greatest athletes we've ever seen. These are names that dominated headlines, heroes who seemed invincible both on and off the field. But behind the roar of the crowd and the flash of the cameras, a different story was unfolding. Today, we're going to dive deep into the heartbreaking reality of why some sports legends died broke. It's not just about bad luck, it's a complex mix of poor financial decisions, trusting the wrong people, and the psychological pressures of life after the game. Let's start with a name that everyone knows, Mike Tyson. Iron Mike was one of the most feared and electrifying boxers in history. In his prime, he was on top of the world, earning over $300 million throughout his career. He lived a life of unimaginable luxury mansions, exotic cars, even pet tigers. But by 2003, Tyson declared bankruptcy, reporting a staggering $23 million in debt. So, what happened? A big part of it was his lavish spending. He was known for buying anything he wanted, whenever he wanted. But it was more than just that. He also surrounded himself with a massive entourage, many of whom were on his payroll. And then there were the costly legal battles and divorces. Tyson's story is a classic example of how quickly a fortune can disappear without proper financial management and discipline. It shows that no matter how much you make, you can't outturn reckless spending. Another legend whose story serves as a cautionary tale is Allen Iverson, the answer. Iverson was an icon in the NBA, a cultural phenomenon who changed the game with his style and heart. He earned over $200 million from his salary and endorsements, including a lifetime deal with Reebok. You'd think he was set for life, and he should have been. But Iverson, much like Tyson, had a taste for the finer things and a large group of friends and family he supported financially. Reports surfaced of him spending thousands of dollars at clubs and jewelry stores. His generosity was legendary, but it also became a huge financial drain. While he didn't die broke, there were serious concerns about his financial stability after his career ended. Thankfully, that Reebok deal included a $32 million trust fund he couldn't touch until he was 55. It has a saving grace, but his story highlights a common pitfall, the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle and support everyone around you. But it's not always about extravagant spending. Sometimes, the issue is simply a lack of financial literacy. Think about it. Many athletes turn pro when they're incredibly young, sometimes straight out of high school or college. They go from having very little money to suddenly having millions of dollars in their bank accounts overnight. They've spent their entire lives training to be the best in their sport, not learning about investments, taxes, or budgeting. They are experts on the court or the field, but novices when it comes to managing wealth. This makes them incredibly vulnerable. This is where the story of Antoine Walker comes in. The former NBA star earned over $108 million in his career. But just 2 years after retiring, he was bankrupt. Walker openly admits he didn't understand finances. He made bad real estate investments during the 2008 financial crisis and, like Iverson, supported a huge entourage. He once said he was providing for about 70 friends and family members. His story is a powerful lesson in the importance of financial education for young athletes. And that brings us to another dark side of this issue, trusting the wrong people. When you have that much money, you unfortunately become a target. Unscrupulous financial advisors, agents, and even friends and family can see a meal ticket. They might promise incredible returns on risky investments or simply mismanage or steal the money entrusted to them. Take former NFL quarterback Vince Young. He signed a $26 million guaranteed contract as a rookie. A few years later, he was broke. Young later sued his former financial advisor and agent, claiming they misappropriated millions of dollars. He admitted he was young and naive, putting his complete trust in people who ultimately betrayed him. It's a devastating scenario. These athletes are focused on their performance, and they rely on a team of professionals to handle their finances. When that trust is broken, the consequences can be catastrophic. The same thing happened to NFL legend Warren Sapp, who lost millions due to bad investments and trusting the wrong advisors. Let's also talk about the psychological aspect. The transition from being a superstar athlete to a retiree is brutal. One day, you're adored by millions, living a highly structured life of training and competition with an adrenaline rush like no other. The next day, it's all gone. The phone stops ringing, the crowds are gone, and you're just a regular person, often in your early 30s. This sudden void can lead to depression, a loss of identity, and a search for that old high. For some, this means gambling, making risky business ventures to chase that competitive thrill, or falling into substance abuse. Former MLB pitcher Curt Schilling is an interesting case. He made over $100 million in his career. After retiring, he poured nearly all of it, about $50 million, into starting his own video game company. It was a passion project, but it was also a massive gamble. The company ultimately failed and went bankrupt, taking his fortune with it. It wasn't about flashy cars, it was about trying to build something new, to find a second act, but the risk was just too great. Divorce is another factor that can decimate an athlete's fortune. The pressures of a high-profile career can put an immense strain on a marriage. And when things fall apart, the financial settlements can be astronomical. Since athlete careers are short, the peak earning years often coincide with the marriage. A divorce settlement can easily slice a player's net worth in half, and ongoing alimony and child support payments can be a massive financial burden long after the paychecks stop coming in. We saw this with Michael Jordan, whose divorce settlement was one of the largest in history at the time. While Jordan's incredible business acumen with Nike and other ventures kept him more than afloat, for an athlete without that kind of post-career income, a costly divorce can be the tipping point into financial ruin. So what's the solution? The good news is that leagues like the NBA and NFL are taking this problem seriously. They've implemented mandatory financial literacy programs for rookies, teaching them about budgeting, investing, and the risks of trusting the wrong people. They connect young players with vetted financial advisors and try to prepare them for life after sports. Players' associations also offer resources and support. But ultimately, the responsibility falls on the athlete. It's about a change in mindset. It's about understanding that an athletic career is a limited time opportunity to secure your entire future. It means saying no to people, even close friends and family. It means living below your means, not just within them. And it means educating yourself, asking questions, and being actively involved in your own financial future. The stories of legends who lost it all are more than just tabloid fodder. They are cautionary tales that hold powerful lessons for all of us, whether we make $100,000 a year or $100 million. It is a reminder that wealth is fragile, and that financial security isn't about how much money you make, but how much you keep and how well you manage it. These athletes gave us unforgettable moments of triumph and joy. Their struggles off the field are a sobering reminder that even our heroes are human, vulnerable to the same pressures and mistakes as anyone else. By learning from their stories, we can hopefully see future generations of athletes build legacies that last long after the final whistle blows. Thanks for watching. If you found this topic interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of sports and beyond. Let us know in the comments which athlete's story surprised you the most. See you in the next one.